The first burglar alarms go online, Edison shows off his new electric railway, and the U.S. launches its first space station. I'm Chris Graveline, and it all happened this week in tech history. This week in 1877, Edwin Holmes of Boston, Massachusetts set up the first network of burglar alarms that were monitored by a central station in New York City. He then sent his son to copy that system in Boston. His son realized that they could use existing phone cables to carry the signals instead of laying their own. This allowed the network to quickly grow to more than 700 burglar alarms, a system that gave rise to the $28 billion industry we know today. In 1880 this week, at his Menlo Park lab, Thomas Edison ran his first test of the electric railway. His locomotive pulled 3 train cars down a track about 1/3 of a mile long. Electric current was generated by 2 motors in Edison's machine shop and transmitted to underground cable to the rails, which powered the 12-horsepower motor on the locomotive. Today, nearly 140 years after Edison's first test, electric railways are still in use all over the world. In 1928 this week, experimental television station W2XB in Schenectady, New York, popularly known as WGY-TV after its sister radio station, began the first regular schedule of TV programs. It was a very short schedule, however. WGY offered programming to the upstate New York audience 3 times a week for 30 minutes at a time, using the mechanical scanning method. And mechanical scanning wasn't to be the wave of the future. It was electrical scanning developed by Philo Farnsworth that would finally make television available to the masses. And this week in 1973, Skylab was launched by NASA from Kennedy Space Center. Skylab was the first space station launched by the United States and the only one to be exclusively operated by the U.S. Skylab included a workshop, a solar observatory, and other systems necessary for crew survival and scientific experiments. Skylab's re-entry in 1979 was an international media phenomenon, with souvenirs for sale that included a bottle of Skylab repellent that came with a money-back guarantee if you were to be hit by a piece of debris. The parts of Skylab that didn't burn up on re-entry landed in mostly unpopulated areas of Western Australia. One county fined NASA $400 for littering, which went unpaid until 2009 when it was paid on behalf of NASA with funds raised by a morning radio show. That's our look back at This Week in Tech History, brought to you by IFA in Berlin.
IFA, the Global Innovations Show. 6,000 media representatives, 2,600 from abroad. It's IFA time. Meet the official partner of the future in Berlin.
Check out our site at intotomorrow.com, where you can find out how to listen to our weekly radio show and subscribe to our free podcasts. Until next week, when we'll take you on another trip into yesterday, I'm Chris Graveline, and I'm History.